Also in the box, we have our Gotcha Rescue and Recovery Kit. It's designed to allow you to perform a rescue of an unconscious person hanging from either a fall arrest lanyard, a deployed fall arrest block, or even the guided type fall arrester when ascending or descending a vertical structure. There's Sam dangling in his harness. Sat in the top of the kit, we've got our attachment sling, which I'm going to pass over the beam. In this case, I'm using an anchorage point that's above my head height. Essentially what we've got is, again, a 3-to-1 pulley system. Colour-coded pulleys, the reason for those will become clear at the moment. On the end of it is a device called the frog, which I can use to attach remotely into Sam's harness. Stuck on the other end of the system is this device. It's called a gree-gree. It's a braking and control device. In the first instance, what I'm going to do is add enough rope into the system to reach my casualty. To do that, what I'm going to do is feed rope out of the gree-gree. Now I'm going to put enough rope into it to allow me to reach the casualty's attachment point, plus some extra as well. I take the gree-gree and I attach it now to the front of my safety harness. I then pull the ropes back up to the top of the structure, and from the bag I take out this piece of equipment. It's a fiberglass telescopic rod. There's a plastic cap on one end which can be quite easily removed, placed into the bag so we don't lose it. And what I'm going to carefully do now is deploy each section of the tube. Now the tube as it stands at the moment is quite flexible and it will collapse on itself. So to stop it collapsing, all I'm going to do is counter twist each section to lock it more firmly into place. Once I've done that, I'm going to attach the frog to the end of the pole. Once it's pushed in, we actually arm the device by pressing the 2 silver triggers on the side of the frog. Holding onto the ropes and the pole at the same time, I'm going to send it all down so I can reach my casualty. And what I'm going to do is fix it into the structural attachment point of his full body harness. I can simply now remove the pole. All I need to do now is use my body as a counterbalance. I'm simply going to kneel down on the floor as if I'm proposing to somebody. Now if I was to stand up, all that's going to happen is Sam goes back down again. I've wasted my time and effort. So when I sit down this time, I'm going to reach up with my left hand as high as I can and grip the rope. I'm going to hold onto the slack rope near the gree-gree, and as I stand, draw the slack up towards the sky. Once I've stood up, let the device lock, let your harness do the work, and sit back down again. Now I can keep repeating that process all day, every day, lifting Sam back up the structure, so we get to a position when we could bring him over the top of the handrail. In reality though, what I want to do is take him to the safest area, which in this case is the floor. So I've now lifted Sam up enough to take the weight off his fall arrest lanyard. I can now detach his lanyard, I can give that to Sam. I can now start to lower him down to the ground. To lower him down, I'm going to keep the rope in my right hand. Using my left hand, I'm going to switch this black handle back towards me. It'll then meet a point of resistance. Any pull past that point of resistance takes the brake off the device, and like the span hoist, we can let the rope feed slowly through the device. Any point in time, if I need him to stop, just going to let go of the black handle and he stops. So again, watching the casualty, making sure I'm happy where he's going. He's off down to ground level. So you can be our first casualty if you like, since you stood near me. Always a mistake.
I did volunteer, but you know.
So the fall arrest lanyard is going to go onto the front of the harness. I'm going to stick the block on the back. So I'm making sure we don't trip over that. If you go over the handrail, and just keep climbing down the ladder until you're hanging off your fall arrest lanyard. There we go. Okay. The Gotcha Rescue Kit was designed to effect a recovery of a person who's suspended by either a fall arrest lanyard or an inertia reel, but critically it allows that rescue to be performed without the need for the rescuer to be suspended in any way or having to access the casualty. Make sure his lanyard orientate's correct. There we go, superb stuff. So just luff it out over the edge. And as we said previously, we're going to put enough in to reach the casualty, plus some extra rope as well. So now you need to stick that to the front of your harness, making sure the ropes are going to point out the top of it. So the check is, when it's lying straight, you should not be able to read that symbol. So turn it over. So holding onto the ropes and the pole at the same time, push it all over the edge. All you're going to aim for now, straight into the structural attachment point of his full body harness. So Superb. So then, could get him up as high as we can, bring him back in through the handrails, whatever else. In this case, we've now released, or brought him up high enough to release his lanyard. Do you want to keep hold of that? Again, key thing to be doing, watch your casualty. It's quite a good indicator, this. A consequence of passing ropes around multiple pulleys over amounts and amounts of time, you're going to get this twist forming. Right. To get rid of it, push it round on itself till it looks right, apply a tiny bit of weight either side, and then lead it backwards and forwards slightly. Let go of your ropes, holding onto the pole. You're not supposed to be walking up, you've got to make him do some work. The anchor point is above a person's shoulder. We call it a high level anchor. So we clip the blue pulley to the purple attachment sling, blue for the sky. If we have an anchor point that's below your shoulder level, we judge that to be a ground level anchor, hence why we're going to turn the kit upside down and use the green pulley to attach to the purple sling, green for the ground. What we're going to look at now is how we can use the gotcha kit to rescue somebody from a loaded fall arrest block. Now you can see the distances we've got going on here. If we were going to use a pole to attach him with the frog, we're going to need a very long pole, and the pole will only reach up to 4 metres. We're going to take off the red frog. So we've taken one red device off, and we're going to replace it with another. We call this a grabber. The grabber is essentially a rope grab that we've tested to work on the cable of a fall arrest block. Previously, we designed the gotcha kit purely to recover somebody off an extended fall arrest lanyard, hence the length of the pole. With the addition of this device, it allows us to attach it to the cable of the fall arrest block. It then travels down to the user. As we then pull up, grabs, hence its name, onto the cable and allows us to perform the rescue. On the side of the device is an arrow. You want to make sure the arrow is actually pointing down towards the casualty. I place it around the cable, making sure the small cable that joins the cam and the body of the device doesn't get wrapped around or trapped inside the other cable. I simply look through all the holes when everything's lined up and push the axle back through. I then try to push the axle back on itself to make sure it's engaged properly. I then give it a quick function check. I know from memory it should slide down the cable, but as such, should I put any load on in the reverse, it will effectively grip the cable. When I feed rope out from the equipment or the kit, it slides down the cable. It should stop on the top of the rubber buffer. And that's it. When it's not going any further, we know we've done enough. And then doing the old sitting and standing routine to lift the casualty up. It's now gripping the cable.
It's not my good side.
It doesn't twist, you've just got to line the holes up. Look this side if you need to. There you go. Okay, excellent. If you hold on to the top rope, you bypass this cam actually in the gree-gree. Just hold on to your bottom rope, left hand actually onto some piece of steel work, anything that's there. So this left hand here, now sit down. All right, grip with your left hand, right hand, knuckles past knuckles and pull the slack through. There you go. Let go with your top hand and same again. Okay, stop there. All right, keep hold with your right hand, but now just double check that the block's unlocked, which it has. All right, and now you can physically lower the casualty back down to ground level.
Okay, if he's in the way, shove him out the way. He's unconscious, so he's not going to put up a fight.
We're looking at the gotcha rescue kit for utilising a rescue on a ladder when we access from below, climb above and then actually lower in a position below the actual casualty if they're in an unconscious situation.
Attach the carabiner back to your harness and then position the sling on the ladder.
The value of this is if we don't have the ability to really access any platform area or anything above the casualty, we can come up from below, climb past them on the ladder and actually utilise a man on the deck to actually lower the casualty down towards the deck level.
Okay? Alright, let him down.
Okay, we have one person just to guide the casualty down onto the ground.
It's 15 to 20 minutes, we can easily have this equipment rigged, we can get somebody up there and we can get the man down onto deck where he needs a treatment.
Just make sure the rope doesn't touch each other, okay? Okay, that's the wrong position to be. You need to be behind him now. Okay, your arms underneath his armpits. There you go, that's it. Well done, guys.